but we don't have anything pending approval for some reason. Why is that?
Did we just?
Did I approve
not vote
everything?
on
I
them?
didn't, did I? I only did those denials.
I'm gonna check.
As we were going back, well, you guys were going back.
Okay, so the other ones are in submitted, but they have to be approved,
Right.
so. Okay, all
Okay,
right.
so we're ready to rock and roll?
I think we are ready to rock and roll. We know the ones we.
You're live?
Okay, we're
Let me just mute my.
Yep. So have we started?
We are live.
Yep, you're good.
All right, thank you. Welcome to the December 19th, 2024 meeting of the Groveland Cultural Council. This is a meeting that is continued from our last meeting. That was December 6th, just to follow up on a couple of grants that we needed to vote with a quorum, because we had some abstention and we had one other grant that we had tabled. So this should be short and sweet. I'll turn over to Steve now, who will share the screen to review those pending grants.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen. All right, so my screen should be up there. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but we could.
Do you want to just give a brief update to what we approved? Or
Yep.
that we approved?
Yeah, let's just, I mean, there's only 12, so let's go through
Yep.
them real quick. So I'm just gonna open up the first one. So this one was the free creative and performance workshop series at VC Park. And we did vote to approve that for the full amount of $2,000. Then we had the North Shore Barbershop, or North Shoreman Barbershop Chorus at Bagnell. And we approved that for what they asked, which was $350. And then we had the benefits of trees and wild edible plant exploration, which I believe is one that we need to vote on this evening. So was put in by the Friends of VC Park, and project information. Let me go to project overview. This program will take place outdoors, both in the new Miyawaki People's Forest at VC and throughout the park. The first speaker, West Newbury's tree warden, will describe the vital importance of the Earth's lungs and discuss why trees benefit the environment. Naturalist and wild edible enthusiast Russ Cohen will lead a 90-minute ramble through the Miyawaki People's Forest and elsewhere at VC Park to learn more about edible wild plants. Keys to the identification of each species will be provided, along with info on edible portions, seasons of availability, and preparation methods, as well as guidelines for safe, ethical, and environmentally responsible foraging. Russ will also bring handouts and provide samples of forage goodies made with wild edibles for people to sip and nibble on. It's a free program, and they're targeting many of the volunteers who helped with the forest project last year. Then there's some info about the speaker, and they're marketing it with help from VC, as well as flyers around Groveland and the surrounding towns, including Pentucket, Georgetown High School, Groveland's message boards, and the town administrators' newsletters. And they were asking for $250. So that's one that we need to vote on.
That's one I have to abstain from.
Correct.
So I'm all for this. I think that it's a very reasonable ask, relatively small amount of money, and like we talked about, this is part of sort of a larger ongoing effort related to some other initiatives that have been taken at VZ. So I'm all for it. I'll make a motion to fund this grant in full for the, well, it's a friend of VZ is the legal name, but this is the project information, the benefit of trees and wild edible plant exploration.
I'll second that.
Any other further discussion on that one? No? So all in favor? That's a vote of 3 with 1 abstention.
All right.
Perfect, thank you.
Draft. All right, so next,
That is scheduled for May 13th, 2025, 4 to 6 p.m. for anybody who might be interested in it.
let's see. Next up is Rubbish to Runway. Applicant again, Friends of VC Park. They're requesting $2,000, and it will run on June 27th and 28th at VC. So the 2025 Rubbish to Runway Park Refashion Show at VC Memorial Park will take place over 2 nights, June 27th and 28th, 2025. This inspiring annual event is an intergenerational fashion show featuring garments upcycled or made by local designers from materials that would otherwise be recycled or thrown away. The event is an inclusive, body-positive event that promotes reuse, resourcefulness, and sustainable practices while supporting a vital conservation property in Groveland, VC Memorial Park. Our theme is community. Community is intended to foster meaningful relationships among individuals, as well as between individuals and their surroundings for the greater good. This is an important concept at VC Park and is the backbone of the Rubbish to Runway show. We offer free garment design workshops leading up to the show to foster a sense of community with the participants. Target audience, it's a wholly inclusive and open to all. Designers, models, and attendees come from a range of ages and economic groups, and the show is always enjoyed by all genders who live from Boston to the North Shore, Merrimack Valley, and beyond. They do charge a ticket fee of $30 to $50. Free or reduced tickets are available in case of hardship as needed. And then it talks a little bit about the funding. So funds raised from Rubbish to Runway 2025 will play a pivotal role in enhancing arts education and ensuring the sustainability of our venue and community center. A portion of the proceeds will be allocated to offering no-cost or low-cost community events and developing innovative arts programs and workshops that cater to a diverse age groups and skill levels, fostering creativity and expression within our community. We'll invest in the maintenance and improvement of our facility, allowing us to provide a safe, inspiring environment for artists and community members alike. By integrating educational initiatives with venue upkeep, we aim to create a vibrant hub that not only nurtures artistic talent, but also strengthens community bonds and cultural engagement. Then there's some info about how the program started, and kind of the history of it. I don't know if you guys want me to read that, but it just talks about the founder who started it 12 years ago, Elizabeth Rose, and then 2 other folks that are involved, Melissa
That's okay.
Montello and Kim
Is
Dow.
this one that we have to vote on
Yes.
as well? Oh, okay.
So they have an overall budget of 7,400, and they're asking us for 2,000. And they are applying to other cultural councils as well, and they do list out kind of some of the other forms of support they have: model coaching, event production team, local businesses that donate food and gift cards, event volunteers. There's a flyer in there if anyone wants to look at that. That's from 2024. I think we looked at it last time, but it just kind of shows some of the designs and whatnot. So obviously, this is an event that's, kind of annual, and the Cultural Council has funded it in the past.
So I'll make a motion, just even to open discussion, I'll make a motion to fund the request for $2,000 for Rubbish to Runway.
I'll second that.
So for discussion, I would say that this is, it was started 12 years ago. The only reason that this was tabled at our last meeting, it's not that there was any sort of question of lack of support, it was that we had a conflict of interest that prevented one of our members from voting, and therefore we needed a full quorum vote for it. So that's why it was tabled, and it's now revisited tonight. I would also say that it is a large sum of money, but it is a 2-day event, and I've heard so many people in the community, I haven't personally attended it, but I've heard so many people talk about it and really look forward to it. I feel like it's something that really brings the community together, not just for those 2 days of presenting the event, but planning and putting it on. I think that that also really ties the community together, because it is a bit of an event that takes planning and organization, and their application is very thorough. They talk about the organizations that collaborate on this, and there is a list of, about a dozen different organizations that all participate in it. And I know that it also calls for a broad range of demographics to participate and attend. So I'm all for it.
Yep. Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I haven't attended as well, but I know a lot of people that have, and it's always been really positive feedback, so.
The pictures are great. So, any other further discussion on that? Then we'll call for a vote. All in favor of this grant?
I abstain.
3 yes, with 1 abstention.
All right, I'll save that as a draft for now.
And then we have one other grant that we needed the quorum vote
Yep,
for.
I'm just going through the rest of these real fast.
Yeah, take your
So
time.
we have one by the Groveland Council on Aging, which was the Memory Cafe. And we did vote to approve that at the last meeting for their 1,200, and that funds multiple sessions of their program. Next was Plant Paint Cross Pollinate, which is the butterfly project, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, exactly. So that's the one where we did vote to approve that for the amount that they requested, which was 700. Then we had All About Birds, which was another project that was planned to take place at VC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Similar, I think there was a similar program last year.
Yep.
We approved that for 325. 8 is Artful Mechanisms. This was to take place at Langley Adams Library. This was the themed Maker Skills Workshop. I know we kind of talked
Yep.
extensively about this. We also approved that for 600. Just a couple more. This was Hip Hop Chair Dance for Seniors, taking place at Nichols Village. We voted to approve that for $280. Next up was Petrushka and the Caterpillar, which was This was a free program taking place at different libraries, if I'm not mistaken, and at Maudsley State Park as well, Haverhill Art Walk. And it has a tie-in with Plant Paint Cross Pollinate. I believe we approved that one for 500. And now we are on to Fairy Tale Hayride. This is the event taking place at Long Hill Orchard in West Newbury. It's a hayride, and it sounds like there's some short plays associated with it as well. And we approved that for 450. And then, last but not least, is The outdoor sculpture, You Are Here. This was one that we wanted to discuss further.
Oh, there were just the two, so you abstained from two?
Yeah, just
I was,
two.
oh, okay.
And then we
And then-
tabled this one because we wanted to
Okay,
think
yep.
about it. All right, so I'll go through this one. So targeting 2025, 26. It's outdoors in the center of your town, preferably in front of a town hall or public building. This is a project that, well, I'll read the program. A Massachusetts-wide sculpture project marking the 250th anniversary of America. Provide pop art in every town and bring people together. Sculpture is an oversized map pin like you would find on a kiosk map. And then there's a diagram attached that I can show that says on one side, You Are Here. The back of each sculpture will be completed by a local artist with the design that the LCC has collaborated on. Each sculpture will be part of an online map so people can visit as many as they want over the course of 2026. We'll be able to scan a QR code at each sculpture that highlights the whole project, gives details about the specific area, and directs patrons to other art that is available to see. An added benefit to each LCC to highlight more art and culture. There are 3 sizes of sculpture to choose from. Ideally, towns under 10,000 are 2-foot sculptures, 10,000 to 100,000 are 4-foot, and over 100,000 are 6-foot. There's a budget attachment with more details. It's targeting children, families, seniors, adventure seekers, historians, vacationers, social media participants, and all Massachusetts residents. It's no project, no cost for participation for people to go and view the pins. This project highlights the culture of an individual town by what the LCC decides to put on the back of their pin. Each town will be different and a direct reflection of the town and its people. The entire sculpture itself exposes residents to pop art, in some instances a beautiful contrast against the backdrop of a very traditional New England setting. The entire project is a communal experience of highlighting that we are all in fact here, and we have a history or something to share together. If adopted by all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts, it would be a first in statewide art. There's some info about the artist, Jennifer Powell. She's from Wilbraham. She's also the president and director of the Wilbraham Peach Blossom Festival, an annual event that brings over 5,000 people to her town each June. Her passion is for community events that bring people together, celebrating the arts, culture, history, and education are what she strives for. Jennifer has community contacts with artists and leaders who she enlists to aid in the statewide project, to either aid in the creation of the art or manage the many logistics. She has access to a large property to base this project from and has a can-do attitude to get it completed on time and better than expected. Other individuals, there's a Jennifer Pelletier of Wilbraham has agreed to work on clerical and logistics for the project. Artists will be used for local areas, as well as contacts of Jen Powell in Massachusetts. The LCC can make recommendations for preferred artists who they may want to participate. Then it talks about a website, QR code, project online, will distribute scavenger hunt packages to all public school children in the towns that participate as part of the marketing in the spring of 2026. Encouraging visits to sculptures all over Massachusetts during the summer to learn about each town. LCC is encouraged to use it as a meeting point for other cultural events, and they expect widespread media coverage. Let's see. I believe there was so there's a PDF attached to this that kind of breaks down all the details. Talks about I thought there was something in it that talked about splitting it up.
Between 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's some examples of it. So I have again, I think I said this at the last meeting. I'm just not sure funding it for that amount when we don't really know who is taking part, whether it's kind of widely adopted, if it's, if we're tying up funds that we could be using for events in town and this ends up not happening, or, only a handful of towns take part in it, then we've kind of encumbered those funds until the grant expires. And I just don't know, like, you know, if we were to put it in front of town hall, you know, are people gonna drive here to look at it? And then there's the whole logistics around, like, does that have to be approved?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of loose ends on this one, because we'd still have to identify an artist to paint the backside of it with whatever we wanted for a personal thing, and then get approvals for locating it and everything else. I'm not sure that it falls on them to do that. But
No,
yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
we would have to do that.
We'd have to do that. So, I mean, I think it just puts too much back on us, and I'm not sure that it's something that our people are gonna get involved in. I can't see myself driving to another town to look at their pen.
Well, and it talks of the concept of a scavenger hunt for school-age children, and I brought up last time that, you know, if you're talking about all of the 351 communities in Massachusetts, they need to be driven by adults to
Yeah.
travel and to see these pins, and, you know, will that theoretically happen, and would it happen without full participation? And I can't imagine that there's going to be full participation of all
Yeah.
351 cities and towns. I also feel that, like you say, it's a large sum of money, and, you know, when you were just commenting on, we don't have a location, it would need approvals, you know, we have denied other requests because they don't have a venue, they don't have a date, they don't have enough of those details confirmed. And this kind of falls into that category too. It's a large amount of money, and there's a lot of loose ends to it.
Right, and I think had it been a little, like, it talks about the summer of 2026 as an example, right? Had there been some discussion around, you know, tying it to other events, like Groveland Day or something like that, you know, I think it would be more appealing, but at this point, it just seems like, you know, I just don't know what the draw is, you know what I mean? Like, what's the draw and what's the cultural benefit? Sure, you can have something on the back of it that has some information about Groveland, but I think there's a lot of places in Groveland where you can get information about Groveland, right?
Well, there's the website.
Right, there's the website, there's the Historical Society.
I'm not sure what it does beyond that.
Right.
You know, that's my question, is what does it do beyond?
And then we have a maintenance issue, we've got, you know, we've
Yeah.
got, so, yeah, I think that,
Yeah. I'm definitely, I'm gonna make a motion that we decline this one, based upon all the things we just talked about.
I'll second that.
Yeah. Any other discussion,
we'll call for a vote. All in favor of the denial of the
or you are here?
You Are Here application? Unanimous. Thank you.
All right, so and then we're gonna say, we need a reason, so, I will say this project did not provide, I'll make a motion to say this project did not provide enough public benefit for our community compared to other proposals we received.
Right, I think that's probably a good way. to put it.
Anyone- Do we have to vote
That
on
would
that?
fall
I'll
in
second
line.
that, yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna decline this then. Sure you want to proceed? Yes. All right, so now, we are through them all. I need to go back to the home page for a second. No, that, all right. So that one went into pending decline, Ruth. I have to decline it, right?
Mhm. You have to send them in.
Yeah, so right there, I hit that, and then,
That's good. Now, the other thing we need to do while we're here is look at these. And we are just under what we said we wanted to spend, right? That's 8,655, and I believe, and there's a reason the reason I'm going through this is that we have to actually approve those at this point. So we did the declines, I think we have to do the approvals as well. Like, hit the submit button.
just in the, yeah.
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 because those have been,
We voted on them, but you.
Yeah, which we knew, that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
There was a little issue with the declines that.
They were in a
okay.
pending
They
status,
were
so
in a
that-
pending state.
That upper left-hand corner would highlight all of them.
Yeah, so I just want to double check this. Yeah, so that was the amount we had to grant. We said we wanted to stay right around 8,600. And if I'm not mistaken, if we go here, we were at like 86 and change, yep, 86.55. So does anyone see a reason not to? So I think what I have to do, because I don't think,
So we're right on the amount that we thought, because I thought that we also still had enough.
yeah, we have, what, $300 left, I think?
oh, we have like $1,000 left.
No?
That would make sense, because we denied that last one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
that's right,
we were
that's
gonna
right.
be like a little
Yeah.
over if we
Yeah.
didn't.
That's right.
Yep.
Now, I think I have to go back into each one of these, because I don't think I can do it any other way. I think I have to click this button here. Let's find out and prove. Okay, so I think I have to go do that for each one
Each
of
one.
them.
I don't think, no, go back into that sort
There
of,
was no button.
there was a checkbox in the upper, right, there was a checkbox on each one, and then there was a checkbox on top of them all.
Try, but I didn't think it actually did anything.
Well, that's
So it
how I-
doesn't give me like a, but see, there's no like,
See, right now, they're all highlighted yellow. That means
Yeah.
you can now,
but it won't give me,
Uh,
see how, like on the other one, it said, like, there was a button here where I could hit decline.
oh, it doesn't let you do
Yeah,
that
so I have to
for
do-
approve? It only lets you do it that way on decline?
I think once they go into the pending state, this will only take a second.
I actually watched their webinar to do those declines.
Yeah, this I remember we had to do last year.
The Mass Cultural Council administratively is super organized and helpful and proactive with outreach and communication. And, you know, Greg Torellis is wonderful, and he's reached out to me a couple times to just make sure, you know, do you have another meeting? When are you going to finalize these? He's the one that told me that those denials were still pending.
So what I want to do is get to the end of this. There's 2 more to go. And then they should be in,
Should be on that main page.
they should show as pending approval. Then I think I can go hit the button to approve them all.
Uh-huh.
I think this was the step we missed last time because I saved them as drafts. Because we hadn't voted on everything. So now we should have none in submitted. Ooh. Oh, pending approvals, there we go. So here. Oh, we have to wait the 15-day reconsideration. Because I see, even if I collect them all, there's nothing else I can do, so.
Well, we wait the 15 days for the denials.
Yep, but I think we can't do the grant decision report until after that 15
Okay.
days
Days
up.
over with the denial period.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so what will happen after that 15 days, if I remember right from last year, is that we'll then be able to go in and approve them. And I can check with Greg on
Yeah.
that to make sure, or I'm sure he'll let us know if we've done it wrong. But I believe we have to wait the 15 days at this point in case any, or I don't know when you did those denials, like hit the button.
2 days ago.
So we're probably 12 days from now or so, we should be able to go in and everything should be good to submit.
Okay.
Okay.
Once we submit the approvals, I know we also need to send a letter out.
Yep.
So, and you sent me a draft of last year's letter?
I did, and then there's some examples on here too.
Okay. So I'll draft a letter before our next meeting.
Yep. Yeah, and there's a bunch of, like approval letters, the reimbursement form.
Yeah, they got everything there.
Yeah, you just basically, I think last time we sent like the approval letter, information about the project, giving us credit, and then the form that they need to fill out to get reimbursed. Which
Right.
reminds me, we should probably check and see if there's any out there.
I was just going to say, and I didn't check the mailbox tonight when I walked in, but I will before we leave. Unless something has been put in the mailbox after December 6th, we're up to date with all of our reimbursements.
Yep, yeah, and then I believe the date that the ones that are currently outstanding expire is like January 14th or 16th, so hopefully we'll get the rest before then. And I think that's it.
Right, because at our last meeting, we also talked about following up
Yes,
on,
there was like 4, and I did not do that, so that's on me.
and one of those was one that we
Had just gotten,
and that we had
we extended one as well.
so we thought there was only really a
I
couple.
think there's only like 3 maybe, or 4.
Whatever, I can follow up too, or.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember, did we divvy it up last time, or what did we say we were
I
gonna do?
don't think so. I don't know.
It was only like,
Because we decided there was only like 2 at the
yeah,
end,
yeah,
Yeah.
once we addressed them all, so.
yeah, and the contact info is on there. Do you wanna send those, or do you want me to send them?
I can send them.
Okay.
After, well, sometime.
Before the deadline in January.
I was going to say, once I'm, off of work for a few days, but then again, when I'm off of work for a few days,
Yeah.
that's going to be Christmas Eve. It's going to be
Yeah.
busy.
It is a
So-
busy time of year.
So
but-
this is, well, I just wanna read what this says.
As long as it goes by the end of the year, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Pending approval until the council does the following. So it says they'll say in pending approval until the council does the following. Send denial notifications using the pending denial area of the system, wait the 15-day reconsideration period and process any successful reconsiderations. Submit the grant decision report on your dashboard. This completes your annual MCC. So I believe we have to wait that 14 days. And then there is a grant decisions report that's due by January 16th. But as soon as they are, let me just make sure
It
that,
would actually be 14 days from today because we had a deny.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put, today's the 19th. Actually, when was our last meeting? Was it the?
The 6th.
The 6th. And we had a quorum, and we added another voting meeting. So I'm just gonna fill this out now so that it's done. Did your quorum? Yes. So that's all set. Council programs. No, we're not doing our own program. I do need, should I use today's date? Because we did deny one
Yep.
today.
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll wait the 14 days, but we're not gonna save draft. I'm not gonna submit anything, so this should auto-populate as I recall, yep. So I can't submit it until 14 days from today. So I'll have to put something on my calendar.
So, looking at
It'll be next year.
the
It will be.
31st, yeah, January 1st,
Yeah, we're good, I mean, we have until
the 16th.
the 16th of January, but I'll put something
Okay,
to do.
perfect.
And then after that, we can't send the letters until after that, obviously,
Yeah.
But we can have them prepared.
prepared.
I'll try to get ahead of that.
Okay.
And then our next meeting,
Where's the year? January.
I think, right, at our first meeting, we had talked about setting, let me just grab those minutes.
Wanna shoot for the 10th? Friday.
Let me just double check my calendar. It's not gonna be. That tentatively works for me. I feel like there's something missing from my calendar, but
Yeah, January 16th
we should do it on the 10th though, because that way
is
we're,
final reports
Yeah.
due. Publicize awards after the 16th. Letters from council go to recipients after decisions are made, so the 10th will
yeah,
hold?
Works for me, yeah.
I'm good with that.
Oh.
Nope.
Hold on.
Yeah, I just pulled up maybe like the 9th.
I could do the 9th either, too, yeah.
So I have a dinner in Boston on the 9th at night, so I can't do that. What about,
Well, is anybody else not able to do the 10th?
I have like how early could we do it on the 10th? Like, is it, like,
Could do anywhere.
is there a time that works for you on the 10th?
well, I mean, maybe like more towards like 4, or like, maybe even like 4:30.
I
Yeah.
can do that.
I could
That
do
would
that.
probably be okay.
If we could do 4 or 4:30, that would work for me. Ruth, does that work for you?
Yes, it can, but like 4:30 would be, to be here at 4 means I'm like cutting out at like 3:30 and I'm
Yeah.
traveling that week, so it's,
Oh, okay.
so 4:30 would be 4:15
Sure. That
Yeah,
would work.
4:30.
as
is
opposed to
fine.
like 5:15 that we do now?
4:30 would work.
4:30?
Is
Is 4:30 okay with you, Dave, or do you want me to
Yeah.
do 4:15?
No, I mean,
I mean, that should be a quick meeting, right? We
depending on
should-
like, yeah, well, like what we have to do. I mean,
I think we just have to finalize everything, probably talk.
And also just make sure we have our votes right up front,
Yeah.
and then if you need to
Yeah.
leave, you can leave.
The only thing we
I
have
have
to,
something at 6:30 that night.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have something at 6:30 that night too,
yeah,
so,
on the 10th,
yeah.
yeah, that's when my thing is too.
Right,
So if we do 4:30, I think we should be done in 45 minutes to an hour.
yeah, 4:30, try to stick it within an hour.
Yeah.
Does that give you enough time, Dave?
Yeah, yep, that works.
That works for me.
Good. Okay,
Quick and easy.
all right.
So,
Oh, we probably need to approve minutes at that meeting too.
yeah, I did not do them, I said I would do the minutes from our last meeting, and that's when we had all of those votes, and I didn't, so
We made
I
a
will.
strategic mistake on that.
I know. Afterwards, I was like, oh, we should have coordinated our,
Who was gonna make the motion in the second, because it makes the minutes a lot
Oh,
easier.
yes.
only if everybody's truly indifferent. If it really, I mean, I think this was a little bit more authentic, and so it's fine. I will happily, it's just, it was nice that it was recorded. Watch the recording to recreate that.
Say, yeah.
So, okay, I'm just going to
We
make a
thought we were
note, the
being very
10th
democratic.
at 4:30.
All right.
January 10th at
Yeah.
4:30.
Fine if you don't have to do the minutes.
Okay. Anything else for tonight?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it was good.
So we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Okay, that's good.
Adjourning at 5:58
All right.
PM. Thank you.